Hi, my name is Michael Sednick, and today I'll be interviewing Taimour Zaman from Alt Funds Global. In an exclusive reveal, Taimour is going to explain when to say no to private placement programs for your business. Stand by.
Nothing that I offer in this video should be considered as legal or financial advice. The purpose of this video is strictly for entertainment and educational purposes only.
Hi, Taimour. How are you?
Not bad. How are you, buddy?
Doing well. Yeah, it's always nice to see you too. When are private placement programs not actually appropriate for my business or for anybody's business? Like, what are the conditions?
Yeah. So the history of private placement programs was invented in something called the Bread Accord, when a number of delegates around the world got together after World War II to agree on what's the currency around the world that they will all agree on, and it became U.S. currency. They invented something called the IMF, which is now being abolished. Like, a bunch of people got together to come up with agreements that invented or structured our banking system, if I can say that. Private placement programs was invented as a vehicle to create jobs and provide funding, because at the time European governments were out of, after World War II, European governments had no money to build bridges, build schools, build hospitals, and they also didn't want to print money and dump it into the economy, because that would cause inflation. So a different program, a different structure became the solution, as called what's referred to as a private placement program, trade. That's what people call it. I just want to say the real word for it, if you're talking to a bank, it's called a structured financial program, leveraging my assets for project financing. That's the way to talk about it. We're a legitimate bank, and that's in the private banking division of the bank, not retail banking. I'll tell you when it's not appropriate. If you're a publicly traded company, oftentimes publicly traded companies, for reasons that honestly I just don't understand why, just don't like things like private placement programs. They like things that they can disclose. Not that PPP you cannot disclose it, but they like things like registered loans. Just like it that way.
Why?
I don't know. Honest to God, I don't know. I've never been able to figure that out. For some reason, private companies where the owner is a private corporation and does not want to disclose their income publicly seems to gravitate a lot more than publicly traded CEOs that I've met. So going back to answer your question, when it's not appropriate for a company to participate in a private placement program? One is, I would say, when you do not have a legitimate project. You don't have a legitimate project that you can disclose to a regulator, to a bank, to a trader, family office on projects you want to do. That would be one area where I would say this is not the vehicle for you.
Is that because of the collateral part of it?
No.
No, it's not, because you need collateral for the private placement programs?
So private placement programs are not done by retail banks. Private banking, the private placement programs are always done by the private division of a bank, not the retail division. If you want to borrow money for your house,
right,
you have to put down a down payment for the house. You have to get credit rating, but then when you buy the house, you're giving the house as collateral to your bank. That's all the retail division of your bank. That's not your private division of your bank.
I see.
When you go to your bank, instead of going to a retail division, go to a private division, the private wealth division, private banking division, like that. Those guys are not expecting to walk in with $10,000. Those guys are expecting to walk in with $10 million, $100 million, $500 million. That's what they're expecting you to walk into. Private division, wealth division. You're not coming with 10K. That division is the one that runs private placement programs. Wholesale banking doesn't run it. Capital markets does not run it. Retail banking doesn't. It's not a program that they run. The private placement program is called structured financial solutions. Is really what's it called. By leveraging your assets, is run by private divisions of your bank. So when is it not appropriate for you to participate in PPP? You don't have a project that requires funding. That's part one. You don't have the capital. On private banking, they're not. I don't want to say your credit score doesn't matter. That maybe a better word is it doesn't matter as much. What the private banking is leveraging is your funds. If you don't have capital, the whole formula does not work. The whole formula does not work if you don't have the funds.
And
You need to
what's the
walk in
minimum on that? What's the minimum on that?
with a smaller bank, with the smaller private banks, the minimum you're walking is $10 million. If you go to any of the large banks like Barclays, HSBC, DBS, whoever who's running a private placement program, the minimum you need is $100 million.
Mhm.
If you're working with a legitimate trader, the minimum you need is also $100 million. So when it's not appropriate is you don't have the money. You just don't have 10 million, you don't have 100 million. And even if you do, let's say you need an emergency next week, this is money you have to let it be with that bank. You have to let it be with that trader because they need to leverage it.
Right.
So if you don't have the money, not the best time, not good for you to participate. If you don't have the projects that create jobs, not a good time for you to participate. Private placement programs, you have to be an accredited investor. By definition, a credit investor needs to be able to take some risks. They need to be risk tolerant. So if you're a homeless guy, this is not something that I will recommend. Homeless guy is the wrong example, but those would be the example times where I would say not appropriate to do a private placement program. And in my personal experiences, I've never been able to help a publicly traded company with this particular product. So I would say if you're a publicly traded company, you need to disclose stuff to people and you wire that way. Generally speaking, I have found, my experience only, that they typically register loans. And I can't explain to you why. That's just my experience.
I see. Okay, well, that pretty much explains that. Anyways, once again, thank you very much for your time. You're just a bevy of financial information.
Hey, look, if you're interested in private placement programs, reading things I'm going to say joker brokers can't do. Last month, we had an event with a bank CEO for people to hear banks to talk about private placement program. I don't know joker brokers that have the ability to do that, or have the connections to do that, and we're a client of the bank. In February of next year, we're running a physical live event with a trader, with an actual private placement program trader. You walk in with your lawyers, detectives, background check on the trader. Is this trader real or not? You have to demonstrate you're real. Here's my money. This is not an event that's open to the public. It has to be a credit investor. They have to demonstrate to me they have funds to do PPP, some amount of funds. They have projects that require funding like that. If they qualify on my end, if you're interested in learning about PPP, I don't know anybody on the planet that has a physical event to meet an actual trader or has webinars with CEOs of banks to just talk about PPP.
How would I find out more about that?
You go to our website, you become a member on our website.
Do I have to do anything special?
No, I would just become a member and then say, and then go into our events list and sign up for our events. And then you'll get questionnaires and a call to make sure you qualify if you're going to physical events. But webinars, we don't do any of that stuff.
And that's altfundsglobal.com.
And that's altfundsglobal.com, not .games, not .net, not .co. We have people that want to imitate our website from time to time. Honestly, God, I don't know why, but altfundsglobal.com for sure.
Excellent. Well, you know what? I think that's an extremely exciting thing to go to. I think people would gain a lot of wonderful insights from being there and physically meeting you and talking to you. Once again, thank you very much for your time, Taimour. And until the next time, see you later.
Thank you very much. Hi friends, I now want to take a minute and answer some of your frequently asked questions. One of the common questions I get a lot is, Taimour, we've learned a lot from you through your YouTube channel. How do we learn more? Can we fly down and meet your team? And the answer to all of that is yes, yes, and yes. Well, if you want to learn more, my first invitation is to become a member of All Funds Global. You simply go to our website, allfundsglobal.com. You sign up to become a member for free. You get access to webinars, offshore events that we do, and content that we never, ever, ever, ever publish on YouTube. I promise you that it's worth becoming a member for sure. The second way that you can learn a lot is I'm a published author. Structured Financing Demystified, Hypergrowth, just multiple books on Amazon that you can get access to. I highly recommend going and checking out some of these books, getting engaged into some of the stuff, that strategies and tactics that we're using for ourselves, for our families, for our friends. You definitely want to check these things out for sure. Another question, I guess, Taimour, why are you so passionate about getting a bank license? Why is that so important? Well, the truth is, our mission within All Funds Global is to help businesses become self-funded for life. Imagine you run a coffee shop and I run a coffee shop. Imagine we buy the coffee beans from the same grower and my coffee shop is right across yours, like really right across yours. Our competition is probably nil. But if you have a bank license and I don't have a bank license, and let's say I made $500,000 and you made $500,000 in income, but if you have a bank license, you are depositing a bank license with the central bank of the country where you own your own private bank license. Let me repeat this again. You are depositing your money with the central bank of the country you have your bank license on. So $500,000 deposited with the central bank should give you a line of credit of 10 times multiple. So that means you get a line of credit of $5 million. Now, it's not free money, it's a line of credit of $5 million. Now, if you draw that entire money out and you go to whichever country you're currently resonating in, the country you're doing business with, and you know in real estate, you want to buy a house, you put 20% down and you get a loan for 80%, same thing. You put $5 million down with a business plan to your local bank, whoever your bank with, and say, hey, I want to grow my business, my technology business, real estate business, pharmaceutical business, whatever business it is. I'm a venture capitalist. I'm putting $5 million down. Your bank gives you a loan at four times more, so now you get a $20 million loan. Now it's not free money, it's $20 million loan. What can you afford to do with $20 million that I cannot afford to do with $500,000? Could you invest in artificial intelligence? Could you invest in hiring better people? Could you invest in advertising? Hell, with that amount of money, could you even buy auxiliary businesses or invest in auxiliary businesses? I say you can, and that's why we within All Funds Global are so passionate in helping clients become self-funded for life, and getting a private bank license is one of the vehicles that I am personally very passionate about helping clients on. Another question, I guess, Taimour, you charge a consultation fee. All Funds Global, the team charges a consultation fee. Why do you charge a consultation fee when you guys can make so much money on the back end? It somehow slows me down from taking a credit card and paying you money for it. Well, here's the truth. We offer our content, millions and millions of dollars worth of content complete for free on YouTube. We don't advertise as of the date of doing this video. We don't advertise on YouTube, Google, or we don't do any kind of advertising at all. And what we find is the volume of traffic that goes into YouTube attracts people that are tire kickers, people that are fraudsters, people that have mental health issues. When we charge a small consultation fee, this deters the hacker, the fraudster, the person who's shopping around, the tire kicker. It eliminates all that and allows me and my team to be on calls or meetings with customers we actually want to do business with. What a concept. Now comes, this is better. At the time of doing a transaction with a client, that fee they pay for a consultation call, we refund it. At the conclusion of us doing a transaction with a client, we refund 100% of all the monies that they paid on consultation fees. This allows us to work with people that are committed to working with us, are serious about working with us, are not tire kickers, are not people that are like, they don't know what banking 101 is, and they're there to waste our time and energy. Just eliminates that. And me and my team are very proud of doing that. Next question, I guess, Taimour, the alternative funding industry overall has a lot of fraudsters in it, has a lot of deep fake in it. What are you doing to protect us protect yourself? So here's the answer to that. Any industry that has a lot of money by default attracts a lot of fraud. Let me say this again. Any industry that attracts a lot of money by default attracts a lot of fraud. I don't know who you bank with. If you bank with one of the top 20 banks in the world, pick a bank you bank with, or you use payment processing companies like PayPal, these companies see a lot of fraud every day, from fraudsters mimicking their website to mimicking their email addresses, and in cases like mine, once a year or twice a year, some idiot, excuse my language, decides to copy my picture on social media, tries to create a fake profile of me, and goes on social media selling scammy transactions. Now, we have the technology and the resources to catch that, usually within 72 hours of that happening, and then cause legal action against that fraudster. We have the financial resources to do that today, but that's just the nature of this industry. So what we do to protect ourselves is we never solicit on social media anything, nor do we solicit in general. We offer a lot of educational materials, but we don't solicit. You'll never see me or any of my associates on any social media trying to sell anything ever. Second, all transactions that we do, money always has to go through a reputable law firm. All transactions we do, money always has to go to a reputable law firm. We never ask the client to send us money or anything like that. Now, I do want to take a minute and talk a little bit about my competitors. In the United States, in the US alone, US has 3% of the world's population, and they have over 60% of the world's lawyers. In the United States, that's a fact, have 3% of the world's population and over 60% of the world's lawyers. I have a lot of legitimate competitors in the United States and around the world that unfortunately have been sued for wrongful things that other people have done. There's a lot of negative stuff on social media or websites about some of my legitimate competitors. And I want to tell you that a lot of my competitors are legitimate. They're hardworking people. I know them. They deliver real results. And unfortunately, they have negative comments or fraud or even lawsuits against them. The reason within Allfunds Global doesn't have a lawsuit against it, or me, Taimour Zaman, don't have a lawsuit against me, or people on social media saying that we're fraudsters or something like that, is simply because of my lack of vision. Every company you deal with, every major company you deal with, whether it's the cars you drive, Ford, Lexus, I don't know, GM, or Facebook, Google, YouTube, whatever you use, or medicine you have, like Taimour, all of these companies have lawsuits against them. A lot of the companies you work with have litigations against them. It's just part of the growth. At some point, the business needs to grow exponentially, and that's when you have to see lawsuits as just the nature of the business growing. The fact that we don't have it is because of my lack of vision as the CEO and like trying to bark a tree like that. Now, I see that changing as we buy businesses that have other CEOs, as we grow. We have over 800 registered brokers with us. As that number grows, it's not normal for our business to continue growing without some idiot calling us fraudster, some idiot trying to sue us, or something like that. If you want to take advantage of the alternative funding industry, I'm going to tell you this is the industry I love. I'm going to tell you this is the industry that I've made a lot of money with. I'm going to tell you this is the industry I've helped a lot of clients make a lot of money with, friends and family make a lot of money with. And if this is an industry you want to get involved in, I recommend meeting the people you want to do business with, like physically flying out to meeting them. If you can afford to hire an investigator, we use a lot of former FBI, former CIA people. These are people you can hire to do background checks. It's not only do these people have lawsuits or not, or other losers calling them fraudsters or not. I'm telling you, a lot of my competitors are really good people, and they're not fraudsters. So do your own due diligence, listen to your intuition. We're really interested in working with some really good people that are vision-driven entrepreneurs that really want to serve the world, and I think we have some things that are really amazing to offer. Another question I get is, Taimour, we love all the services of Allfunds Global. What are the top 3 services you offer that we should really seriously think about, call you or your organization and get you guys involved? But my favorite service, the one that makes a lot of sense, is the trusted advisory service. This is when we become your chief banking officer. We work with your CFO, your legal team, the CEO, the COO. We look at where your organization is, where you want it to be. We look at banking programs that make sense for your type of business, that are proven and would work to generate access to alternative revenue sources for your business that makes sense. From that, we then create offshore tax structures, offshore bank accounts, offshore bank licenses for your organization, so the revenue gets generated has a channel to go to that is well protected. We have a lot of domain expertise that I do not share ever on YouTube. It's not like a lawyer who's like, go create a trust account and cooks out in. Like we don't do. We do some very sophisticated stuff that I'm very proud of. That's our intellectual property. And so the trusted advisory services, where we become a trusted advisor, is one of the things that I would recommend everybody to look at. It's a monthly retainer, you pay for it, but let me tell you, for every penny you put in to that, you get tens of dollars out of it. And I think you're not going to get this amount of expertise dedicated to your business. So that's something I would recommend you to think about and sign up for. Second one is if you're looking for access to capital, we have a lot of unique programs like Rent a Rich Uncle that we can support your organization as long as your organization is a successful business and not a startup, not somebody who's going bankrupt. It's a successful business that has real cash, real assets, and is generating something real, that's real growth. I think we have some avenues for accessing capital that others simply cannot offer. And the final one that I love is we have a lot of asset management structures that are very unique to our intellectual property that I love to share with you. If you have assets, you want to grow, you want to get bank license, you want to set up a trust, you want to work with multiple central banks, do some really cool stuff. I think I'm the only weirdest person that has real expertise and experience in doing this stuff. And so my name is Taimour. I'm from Allfunds Global. Thank you for following us up on YouTube. If you're doing that, thank you for trusting me. Thank you for trusting my team. And on behalf of my team, I just really want to say thank you. And we look forward to the opportunity of serving you.